Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about the best ways you can get money out of your TSP and actually produce income for yourself in retirement, and some of the not so good ways that exist as well. So if you're new here, welcome, great to have you. I'm a financial planner in my day job, but I'm not making these videos for you. And I help federal employees specifically to help you guys get the most out of your retirement benefits and retire confident. So here's the deal. We all know that you've saved and saved and saved and saved. You put all this money in the TSP, you've got this lump sum, but how on earth do you change that amount of money into an income source that you can rely on? How does that actually work? What are the best ways to get money out of the TSP? And what are the worst ways, okay? So here's the deal. There are really three main ways to get money out of the TSP. Number one, you can take a TSP annuity. Number two, you can do installment payments is what they call them. And number three, you can do a one-time payment. So let's break those down. A TSP annuity is when you take all or a part of your TSP and you go give it to an insurance company like MetLife, who right now holds the contract to provide TSP annuities for those that want them. And basically, this is what it looks like. You go to MetLife and you say, hey, look, here's the amount of money I have. How much income will you guarantee me for the rest of my life if I give this to you? And they'll give you a number, whatever it is, based on how much you give them. And then you do the trade. You hand over your lump sum amount of money and they say, okay, we'll guarantee this payment for the rest of your life. That's how the TSP annuity works. Is, hey, you give over your money, part of it or all of it, and they guarantee a monthly payment for the rest of your life, okay? However, there are a few downsides. Now, it may sound great on paper to have guaranteed income for the rest of your life, but here are the few things to think about. Number one, you lose control of your money. If you give $500,000 over to MetLife, that $500,000 is no longer yours. The only thing you have right to is the monthly payment for the rest of your life. And my question to you is, what if your plans change? What if what you thought you wanted in retirement changes? Maybe you want to use that money differently. You can't change with an annuity. You lock that in. So I would be very, very cautious before buying any sort of annuity, whether it's through the TSP, whether it's through an outside annuity salesperson. I would be very careful before you get into that sort of thing. I've got other videos that go into depth actually about TSP annuities if you want more information. But long story short, be careful, be wary before you get into that sort of commitment, because it's a long lifetime commitment that you want to make sure you're okay with before you do that, okay? Now, that's the first option. Again, the next option is called installment payments. You can now tell the TSP, hey, send me, I want $500 a month, and send it to me until I tell you to stop, okay? And then they'll start a $500 a month withdrawal, and they'll keep sending that to you until you tell them to stop, okay? You can tell them how much you want them to send you to your bank account every month, every quarter, every year, however you choose to set it up, which is a great option, right? The TSP in the past used to be really, really terrible in the options they had for getting money out, but there's actually quite a few better ones now. And installment payments is a great way to almost set up a recurring income from the TSP. Now, the one thing with the installment payments is it's up to you to make sure that you're not taking out too much or too little or any amount in between, that you're taking the right amount that you are never going to run out of money, right? But you're able to enjoy your life as well. So it's up to you in that case to make sure you're taking out the right amount with that amount, okay? Next, you can take a one-time withdrawal, right? You don't have to do a recurring installment payment. You can do a one-time withdrawal. Maybe something comes up, it's, hey, I need $10,000, send it to me, and they'll send it to you. So the TSP now, again, has lots of different options, lots of withdrawal options. It's up to you to find, okay, which option is gonna best suit me. Now, one thing to know is some people do move their money to an IRA in retirement. That is fairly common. I've got other videos that go into the pros and cons. If you want the pros and cons, there's a bunch of them, things to think about. So definitely go check those out. But generally speaking, one of the biggest things you need to know when you start taking money out is, okay, the TSP actually has two sides normally. You normally have the traditional TSP and the Roth TSP. And the question is, which one should you touch first? Should you take proportional withdrawals from both? And in the past, you had to take proportional withdrawals, but now you actually have the option to pick. Do you want to take money from the traditional side or the Roth side? And there's always exceptions to any rule, but in general, if we had to pick to let one account continue to grow and one account to start withdrawing from right away, which one would we pick for which? Well, whenever we let the Roth grow, that grows tax-free. We like tax-free growth. So in general, when deciding when to start taking money and where to take it from, we generally want to take it from the traditional TSP first so that we let the Roth TSP grow and gain more and more tax-free money for you later. If you pulled the Roth first, then boom, you just killed the goose that is laying the golden eggs, right? It's done. The tax-free growth is done. So generally speaking, we like to let the Roth grow. And that does two things. First, you save taxes over time. Second, down the road, when RMDs come into play, when you're forced to take money out in your early 70s, and the government says, hey, you got to start taking money out of accounts and paying taxes, the only types of accounts that it applies to are pre-tax accounts like traditional TSP, traditional IRA, but the Roth TSP is not subject to RMDs, and at least not anymore. It used to be, but not anymore. So you have more control over when you take the money out, and you can let it grow tax-free for a long, long time. So those are some of the things to think about is which withdrawal option do you want to use, and second, where to pull the money from. So hopefully that gives you some context in helping you make a good decision. Again, I've got other videos on some of the subtopics of all of this, whether it's how should you be investing your TSP in retirement, or maybe more information about the TSP annuity. You can find information and videos on all those things back on our website on hawesfederaladvisors.com. So I hope that's helpful. Have an incredible rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time.